Welcome back to MSTR-Farms. Today we're going to be grinding feed for the fat steers and the mama cows and pigs mix. It's a mixture. It's about a 16% or 15 to 16% for them, so that's what we'll be doing. We're going to be using the Super 88 with the white engine in it. We still have to get it turned down. It's still pushing probably 90 horse yet, so we don't push it that hard because if not it kind of gets a little warm, but yeah. It's not put together all the way yet, but we didn't want to do that till we got done with all the tuning. But we still need it to grind feed, so we'll just use it naked for now. The drawbar on that hitch hangs really low. We got to come up with a different style for it. But he's going to hook up to the feed grinder, and then we're going to let it sit and warm up while we get our pallets out with the forklift. So yeah, we got to get the fuel turned down on it. Originally it was an Army surplus generator engine, and it's supposed to be 53 horsepower, but we're pretty sure they only dynoed it on the generator. So just when the overload trip, they're like, yep, that's 50 horsepower and that's all that matters. And I know for a fact it's got more than 50, because this thing will run this feed grinder better than the 1955 sometimes, it seems like. So we are going to get it hooked up, and we'll catch you when we're moving around the forklift. All right, Sam's situating the tractor out there to let it warm up. We're going to start up the 551 forklift here. We just call it the 550 because it's a 550 just backwards. We've had this for what, 3 years? 2 or 3 years now. It's become quite a versatile thing. As you can see, we've got a mover built for it. I actually added on auxiliary hydraulics as well on the side shift, so that I can use this box to meter in my supplements into the feed grinder, kind of in bulk or whatever. And everything's on pallets. We got planter parts and a fencing pallet there, and more planter parts, and I buy all my beans in bulk bags now. This is usually what my bulk bag beans go in, but that takes an extra tractor then to feed grind, so we're actually going to do the non-OSHA approved way, which is hanging the pallet over top of that box, dumping that box full, and then augering it in. Yeah, we'll see you when we start metering. So now he's going to hang that tote over top of this, and we're going to open the bottom up, and we'll fill this box up full here, and then we'll auger it into the feed grinder slowly and let it grind the beans up, and then that'll be our high protein, and then we fill the rest full of corn and mineral and our other supplements, and we're done. This is just the non-OSHA approved way of doing it, so I'm not going to record it. got to engage the hammer mill. If I can try to do it. Well, I can't do it one-handed, but I can kind of show you here. So that's engaged now. And we want the feed to be off. Let's take the feed belt off here. We don't need to run the intake auger for the beans. We're gonna have him, it's been sitting there, it's warmed up. We're gonna have him spin it up. And then we're going to just simply engage our hydraulics. Needs a little tensioning, but it's not pulling very much power. So basically the side shift spring, for some reason it's been like this ever since we got it, but going left it doesn't exist, the detent spring. So we have it set up so with no spring it's forward, so you don't have to sit there and hold the lever. So that's pretty nice. Alright, so he's going to back that up to this auger over here by the bins, and we're going to fill it up with corn. We got to put in a little over 3,000 pounds. You can tell the birds are out because there's no spilled corn left. The birds love to go after that. I got to plug this auger in. Alright, so he's going to back it up, and we're going to try and aim to line it up to the auger. We usually try to be able to get that block underneath the end of the auger here, but sometimes you can't. The more level you can sit the auger, the better it feeds. And I'm gonna need 2 hands for this, so I'm gonna put you down. We got it on the slow mode, not fast, because if we put it on fast, it gets too hot because I can push it too hard. So just put it on slow. The auger. It leaks a little bit. Now we add our mineral while it's mixing. There's an auger right there. You gotta make sure you keep your hands out of it. Mud. I mean, I need a new grinder, but if you've seen today's equipment prices, I think I'm just going to work on this one because this one's tubes shot. It needs all new chains up front. Tires are about to explode, and it's got the most stupid auger design ever. Like, Archway did so good everywhere else, but then they got here and I don't know if they had like a 5-year-old design it or what. But it's just terrible. I mean, I wouldn't even put a hydraulic motor on it because I'd be afraid of it ruining it. So, We're probably going to come out here with a spout and have a little drop box, sorry for the wind, and have it be kind of like the old Gale style, just up a lot higher. I think it's Gale that did that. Maybe it was, yeah, it was Gale. Other than that, we love this grinder. Does a good job, but I can't buy anything new for probably under 10 grand or something ridiculous like that, so we'll just stick with this. We're going in that steer stuff there that is homemade because also prices. We ground up to Windows 6. It's because it's lean and it's up there, but we ground to Windows 6, which is 3,600 pounds. So it's usually not that accurate. So Windows 6 is right around 2,000 pounds, and we have to unload, or 4,000 pounds, I mean. So we have to unload 2,000 pounds into there, and then we'll put more beans in it to get it up to 16% for these little buggers. And we'll put about 400 pounds of feed in there, and then we'll dilute the rest of it down to the next 2 tons with corn, and it'll be a good ration for the cows. And that's kind of how we did it all, by basically you do a base mix and then you add and subtract for all the other animals. And that's kind of, and we add mineral as we go, of course. So that's kind of how this goes. We'll catch you when we're mixing more feed, I suppose. So we've added another box full of roasted soybeans. It's been mixing for a little bit here. We'll go ahead and turn it on. Pull the slide open. That's going to unload it, and we're going to fill that box up. Once that box is full, we will then shut this off and go unload that box into the pig feeder. Because there's only 3 pigs in that pen, we don't need to be putting in like a whole ton of feed or anything crazy, because they go into the walker by the end of April here, early May. So we don't want to fill that feeder up if there's not going to be any animals eating it. So this box is probably the best thing I've ever made. We got our little bit of feed we want to put in the feeder here. As you can see, the pigs are wanting to get at it. You gotta go the other side, guys. Got our steers in here. They can go out in that lot for the winter. And then when it gets here in probably about a month, we'll start rotating them out in that field across from that house there. And these are our hog lots. Of course, they're desolate because of nothing's been growing and they've still been rooting, but we can just rotate them from pasture to pasture. We can actually put them in here if we want to. That next building over is another one, and then this is the winter one. And summer, because middle of summer, because it's got that nice big mud hole. But he's just going to unload that box in here, and then they'll have enough feed, hopefully get them through the end of April. Alrighty, we're filling this bin up now. We took that 16% and we diluted it down by putting in another 2,000 pounds of corn. And then we added another bag of mineral for that. And this will fill this up, which is what we feed to most of our cows. You guys have had their noses in some grain. As you can see, they've kind of broke my hay feeder here. I got to fix that this evening yet, but yeah. That's kind of how we ground feed. If we do anything else today, I'll bring you along, but this might be it. We'll see.